Thank you all for being here this afternoon. I'm Ashley Sklar. I'm the Adult Services and Community Engagement Consultant with the Connecticut State Library. I'm really excited to welcome Maddie. I'm going to say it wrong, Maddie. I'm so sorry. Cheka?
Perfect.
Oh, goodness. Press Secretary for the Office of the State Comptroller. She is here to share with us the details of ArrayRx, which is a new state program. It's open to all Connecticut residents, all of whom use our libraries, of course. So an important thing for us all to know about, just so that you know, if you haven't already, if you could update your name to your name in library, that would be fantastic. That helps me on the back end. We are recording today's session, as you probably noted upon coming in, and we will share both the recording and the slides on our YouTube channel. So please enter your questions in the chat as we go, or at the end, we will get to them. And then, of course, we'll follow up with a survey like we do for all of our programs. So you'll get that shortly after the program. And if you haven't seen already, also the captions are available for you at the bottom of your screen. With that, Maddie, take it away.
Awesome. So hi, everybody. Like she said, my name is Maddie Cheka. I'm the press secretary here at the Comptroller's office. But I do have a background in education. I'm a certified teacher, so I do want to thank all of you for the work that you do. I was a frequenter at the Orange Public Library where I grew up. So really happy to be here with you all today. And with that, I will share my screen, and there's a pretty brief PowerPoint that I'm going to run through, and then I'm happy to take some questions on the program. And my email will be at the end. So if you have any questions after the fact, you can feel free to shoot me an email. So it's going to go to the next slide for me here. There we go. So this is on the new state-sponsored drug discount card, ArrayRx. Hopefully you might have heard of it, but we just launched in October, so we are getting off the ground here. It's a offshoot of Moda Health, which operates mostly out on the West Coast, and 4 states by states is there. There you go. I want to hide the little thumbnail video. So just as a way of background, this came through from the governor's healthcare bill last legislative session. It gave our office the ability to enter into this contract with Moda Health. And so they own ArrayRx, which is a multi-state consortium, formerly known as the Northwest Prescription Drug Consortium. And what ArrayRx does is they offer an array of pharmacy benefit services, but we in Connecticut and the other state, Nevada, have just signed on to the drug discount card portion. The 2 states that started originally were Oregon and Washington. So we are the first on the East Coast to join into this, and hopefully we'll be able to kind of show its success and get some more states in. A little more about it. Like I said, it was created between Washington and Oregon in the early 2000s. And what they basically do is use the bulk purchasing power that comes with being, a state that's purchasing drugs to offset some of the discounts they can get over to the consumer or residents. Like I said, there's an array of pharmacy benefits that they provide, but we've just signed on to the drug discount portion. And the way that this works is that they contract with Moda Health, who already has a contract with Novitas, which is the pharmacy benefit manager. Really fancy way of saying they're the middleman between purchasing the drugs and the drugs getting into pharmacies. Excuse me. So 98% of the pharmacies in Connecticut already have a contract with Novitas in place. And so participating in ArrayRx isn't something they need to opt into or to sign up for. 98% of the, just shy of 700 pharmacies in Connecticut will already take this card without them having to do anything. So that's been, something really great that we've seen, and that's pretty evenly distributed among some of the chain pharmacies like CVS and Walgreens. I'm going to take my cat's bell collar off if she's next to me. And independent and local pharmacies, locally operated, independently owned. Some people have just asked, who exactly is ArrayRx, and they have a steering committee that we have a spot on now in Connecticut. It's currently being kind of held by one of our staff members as we work to hire a full-time staff member for this program. who will oversee both this program and some other health programs over in our health office, not in our executive office, so that it kind of has continuity as we go from administration to administration. And as you can see from here, it's different health and pharmacy professionals who are involved in this over in the other states. So the discount card program, what is it, right? Giving you some background. We started on October 2nd was the first day that CT residents could sign up online for free. And it emails a digital card to your email or if you fill it out on your phone, the option will immediately be available if you have an Android or an iPhone to download it right to your smartphone wallet. And the website also has a member dashboard, and I'll hopefully have some time to go back to these tools right after, where you can look up a specific drug and see just how much it will cost. So like I said, 98% of the pharmacies in Connecticut are in network. The average savings, or the savings, are up to 80% on generic drugs and 20% on brand name drugs. This isn't something that you can use in combination with your insurance, but you can use it instead of your insurance, and it also can't, count towards a deductible. So there's no membership costs associated, and it's fair to pharmacies through that already existing contract. And they have strong data privacy, and these are some things, the membership costs and the data privacy, that set them apart from some of the other drug discount cards you may have heard of, like GoodRx. They got in some trouble earlier this year for selling data. And they also, some of them have kind of like tiered membership tiers. So where you can pay more to access more discounts, but this is, never going to charge a membership fee to participate. And also, some pharmacies aren't a huge fan of GoodRx because sometimes they actually lose money on the prescription. And we've been assured that's not going to be the case here because of that already existing contract that we are utilizing. So just some general questions that we tend to get. How is this free for the state to join? So we as a state don't pay anything to join this, which is great. Except we're going to have that position in our office that's going to partially oversee this program among other programs in the office. There is a small administrative fee that's built into the claim, so into the purchase of the drugs, that's offset by the consumer, but it's still, as we've seen, more affordable to use this, especially for people who are underinsured or uninsured. I've gone over some of the differences from the other drug discount cards. ArrayRx reached out directly to pharmacies, so they should know about this. Novitas, the PBM, notified all of their participants and all of their, contractees that this would be something that would be popping up because it's entered much like an insurance card, but, it could be easy for a pharmacist to see it and say, hey, what is this? So we made sure to get ahead of that. As well as an office, we were communicating with independent pharmacies, big chain pharmacies, hospitals, service providers, things like that. So we've been going around and making sure that we have our bases covered, which is why I'm here today, to try and talk to people, who interface routinely with the public or places where people go as trusted sources of information. So the information that's required to sign up is just a name, date of birth, Connecticut address and email address. If someone's experiencing housing insecurity, they can use a shelter address or wherever they may be staying at that time, as long as they are a Connecticut resident. And what's important about this little bullet is that there's no immigration status requirement, which is something we've been really trying to communicate as a portion of this program. So, people who are not documented living in Connecticut often have struggles accessing healthcare. And of course, they still need to access healthcare to gain a prescription. But if they don't have health insurance, paying for that prescription could be really difficult. So this card is an option for them as people who are living in Connecticut. And like I said before, it's not something that can be used with insurance, but has to be used in place of that. And sometimes there are drugs that ArrayRx covers or has within their network that will be covered over the card that might not be covered with one's insurance. So with that, I will actually go back to I'm not sure if it's linked here. Is my screen still, oh, it's not still sharing, but I will share again. And I will go and just show you guys the website really quickly. let's do this one. You are gonna have all my tabs at the top here, but that is
Oh, your screen looks like my screen. That makes me feel better.
yeah. So this is the website, and like I said, it just asks for your name, email address, date of birth, and then you'll hit next and you'll enter in your address. So I won't do that because I don't want to, duplicate what I already have. Something that's cool is that it's also in Spanish. So we have English and Spanish. And then I did just quickly want to show you the Find a Drug tool. The Find a Pharmacy tool is very similar because this one will show you all the pharmacies in your area. So if we enter a drug name, let's listen. This was a popular one they found out west. And so you can look at the brand name, but then also the generic. So if you know what you take every day and what your, quantity is for how many numbers of days. I live in Hartford, so I would put in mine and it'll show me within 5 miles eventually exactly how much you will. It should come up with a price. Oh, there we go. It's loading. Oh, there's gonna be too many. Exactly how much you will pay if you use this card. So you can see something I didn't know is that you will pay a lot less at some pharmacies opposed to other ones based on where you're shopping for drugs. So not only might this help you, if your insurance is still cheaper, you might say, hey, it might be even cheaper if I happen to go to this pharmacy. Or, you might say, hey, it's actually cheaper for me to use this card. So it's super, super easy to use. It's super user friendly. We've been going around to a lot of senior centers and people have been able to pull it up on their phone and sign up right there on the spot. So I just wanted to share this with librarians, like I said, as a trusted source for information. And I am happy to take any questions people may have. And I hope that you will partner with us in sharing this. And I can share some materials with Ashley that we've used for marketing, like posters and like social media posts.
Awesome. Thank you, Maddie. I was going to say you answered some of my questions before I had a chance to ask. Folks with immigration status is one. Folks who might be experiencing some housing insecurity was another one. So I appreciate that you covered both of those right away. There's one question popping up now in the chat. Is there an app for ArrayRx?
There is not an app. And quite honestly, I have so many apps on my phone for so many different things. I'm almost relieved that it's just a website and a very simple website at that. So the website is, I'm not sure if I actually had it in there, but I will put it in the chat. It's ArrayRxCard.com, and then you can /ES for the Spanish version. Once you do sign up, you will get an email where you can create like a user dashboard if you so choose, but it's not required to use the card. But in there you can store if you have monthly or tri-monthly prescriptions that you fill, then you can store it in there and compare for later usage, especially as drug prices sometimes tend to fluctuate.
For sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, there isn't an app. That's also not up to us in Connecticut, but I know there were some talks about maybe creating one at the larger, Moda Health Array. But we will continue to follow that, and we'll definitely update you if they do create.
For sure. Thank you. If other folks have questions, I want to give you a moment to either put them in the chat. You're also welcome to unmute. Excuse me, and ask, but you covered my questions, so I appreciate that. I think I did share some of the materials, Maddie, that you had sent to me along with my initial message in terms of like the social media posts and some flyers, but I will recirculate that to all of the folks who registered for this event as well, and maybe link to them when I post the recording as well, so folks can have access to that. I see that you have put your email in there as someone asked, so thank you for that.
Yeah, Amy, I think we're actually going to be down in Fairfield at the Senior Center sometime next week. So
excellent. I'm sure you are traveling around the state, spreading the news.
Yeah, Newington tomorrow, Fairfield Monday,
excellent.
wherever it takes us.
That's great. Since we have a few minutes and there doesn't seem to be a question, do you want to just really quickly show us the pharmacy tool interface as well,
Yeah.
just so we can have
Mhm.
that included in this too? That would be great.
Yes, it is super, super similar. If it's
I'm
let me
sure.
share.
It seemed very user friendly.
Yeah. So if I go back to, oh, I can't get up there with, how do you make the ribbon go away?
Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Hide floating meeting controls. Okay. Find a pharmacy is even easier because now you don't need to enter a drug, but you can just put in your, I'm from Orange, so I'll put where I'm from down there. Do some different ones this time. And takes a couple, and there you go. So there's some I'd never even heard of before. Another cool thing is that because pharmacies across the country are partnered with Navitus, is that as long as you're a Connecticut resident, you can have this card. And I also know that people travel. We're a popular state for some snowbirds, so they say. And so if you happen to be down in Florida, or you happen to be somewhere and you, God forbid, break something and you get a prescription antibiotic or something, you can use this card to fill it at those pharmacies. You might just have to explain to them, like, oh, this is what we're part of in Connecticut. You enter it just like an insurance card. But it is something that you can use in other places, as long as they have that contract with CVS and Walgreens do, or the big ones. And likely if you're in a foreign place, you're going to seek out one of those. So
They are everywhere, aren't they?
Mhm.
Excellent. Well, it seems like there's no other questions. I will again just really thank you, Maddie, for reaching out and for thinking of libraries as a partner and sharing this program. It's fabulous the way that it operates and really allows for an inclusive approach to get this card into the hands of everyone living in Connecticut. And so that's very much in line with how libraries think of working with our community. So thank you. And again, I will share the recording with everyone. I will share the slides with everyone. I will share even more marketing materials so that you have more information in your hands to share with your patrons and communities. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this afternoon. And we'll see you soon. Take care.